Hello, everyone. It's great to have you on the call today. We're so thrilled that you are a part of today's weekend workshop. And once again, we have a fantastic weekend client who is presenting, and we are excited about this topic as well, which is very popular. Of course, this idea of really boosting our brand using video. And I don't know about you, but video freaks me out a little bit some days. And I think that's certainly something that Sky is going to be addressing. So, Sky, we're thrilled to have you here. And just as we're diving in, I want to give you all a chance to connect to each other in the Zoom chat. This is a great opportunity, of course, today, not just to learn, but to go ahead and connect with each other to find out a little bit more about each other's businesses. And so I hope that you'll take this opportunity right now to go ahead, let us know, where are you connecting from? What is your business? If you even have a link to your business that you'd like to share. I know some people like to share a LinkedIn link, even if you don't have your own website yet. If it's Instagram, that's fine. So go ahead, do that. While you are connecting in the Zoom chat, I'm going to take the opportunity to acknowledge that Queen's University is situated on the ancestral territory of the Huron, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. And a part of our regular land acknowledgements, which aren't so regular, I don't think, because I try to make them different every time by referring us either to an Indigenous company, maybe one that we're working with, or a resource. And so today I'd like to do that. So since we are talking about video and film and all of that, I thought I would recommend a Netflix TV show that I have seen recently. I don't know if anyone else has checked it out. It's called North of North. And so it actually was originally on CBC. So go ahead, put a reaction button, or like Joanne just did, just give a thumbs up if you have checked out this show before. So North of North is kind of cool. First of all, it's Canadian filmed, and right now I think we're all trying to consume as much Canadian content as we can. But not only is it filmed in Canada, it is produced by an Indigenous company. The two leads of the show are strong Inuk women, and not only are they playing the role of Inuk women, but they themselves are Inuk women, which is wonderful and authentic. It's a drama, of course. So there is, all sorts of entertaining plot lines. But the fact is, it was filmed in Iqaluit. I don't know about you. I've been to Iqaluit in Nunavut, and it is authentic to the region. There's music, there's dance. There's actually even some very references to some pretty deep Indigenous issues and issues affecting all of Turtle Island and Canadian culture as well. So check it out. That's my recommendation. Definitely, I binge watched it. I'll be honest. And hey, if we have a rainy weekend, maybe that's how you want to spend your rainy weekend, is checking out that resource. So North of North is the name of it. It's on Netflix and it's filmed by CBC. So thank you for those of you who are connecting in the Zoom chat. If you're just joining us, please do feel free to go ahead and let us know where you're connecting from, what your business is, and provide us a link. This is a great opportunity to connect with each other. By the way, I'm Carrie Ramsey, and I'm the project manager for the Weekend Project, which is led by Queen's University. And so I have been with the Weekend Project for the past 5.5 years, which is how I've gotten to know many of you. But if I haven't met you before, hello, I hope that you'll reach out and that you'll become a part of the Weekend Project if you are a woman-owned business in the Kingston-Quinte, Prince Edward County General region. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for those of you who are introducing yourselves. Sky, I know you have got a ton of wonderful material to get into, so I'm gonna hand you the virtual microphone. Let's get started. The only thing I will mention is we are going to use the Zoom chat today for Q&A. There is going to be some Q&A at the end, but I understand if there's a burning question or hot question you need to ask, and it's in flow with the presentation, go ahead and put that in the Zoom chat. We will do our best to address it as we go. Thanks, Sky. Over to you.
Awesome. I'll take the mic. First of all, I'm so excited to be reading everybody's businesses and all the things that you guys are creating for. We have a sommelier, mental health advocates, like so many amazing things in here. So I'm pumped to tell you all of my juicy tips. So let's get started. So today's workshop, I'm going to be speaking a lot about building your brand with video and specifically through telling your story. So you'll notice that a lot of this presentation is based around authenticity and telling your real story and showing up online to be who you really are, to connect with your people and to get the right people finding you online and trusting you. So I do have a lot of little moments for reflection. I'm going to give you some time to answer a few questions throughout the presentation. So I'd really encourage you, if you don't have paper in front of you or a notes app on your phone or a digital document beside you, to grab that and get that for yourself, because there's going to be a lot of moments here to like sort of dive deep into some of the things that I'm saying so that you can take it with you after this and read through it and really work through a lot of these things. So I'm not just like talking at you, because I don't love when I do workshops and I'm like, wow, that was so inspiring, but like, what do I do now? So I'm hoping that you leave here with a lot of knowledge, but also things to look back on for yourself. So a little bit about me. My name is Sky. I have been creating videos professionally for over 10 years. I started out making videos, I always say, before it was considered cool. I discovered YouTube very, very early on. I made YouTube videos in high school. I'm almost 30 now, so that was a long time ago. Um, and I fell in love with it, so I really understand the social media landscape when it comes to video, because I've been around from the very beginning. um, I specifically do a lot of video editing, so I've worked with tons of huge companies, tons of big influencers, large YouTube channels, all the way down to individuals who are starting from zero, and small businesses. So I really have a wide range of expertise and success and stuff to really back up what I'm saying. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. So let's get started. I like to, first of all, get you to start thinking about how lucky we are nowadays to be able to create with our cell phones. This is just a little photo to remind you of how far we've come and to not take your phone for granted when it comes to the power in your pocket and the stories that you can share. So I want to remind you, back in the day, if somebody had to sell something, you had to kind of be a huge company like Coca-Cola who could afford crazy expensive ads in a magazine or a TV commercial. And nowadays, anybody can share their message. So that's really, really cool and not something for you to forget. This is an example of a lady who started Poppy. I'm sure a lot of you know what that is, and it was just acquired by Pepsi for almost $2 billion. Dollars. And she just started out with a dream, and she was really amazing at content creation, and she built up the social media for her brand, and look at her now. So I just want you all to know that you have the power to change the world with your story. You do, I promise, no matter where you're starting from. So hopefully that inspires you a little bit as we get into this. So I want to start out talking about authenticity when it comes to content creation. So being authentic means staying true to who you are, regardless of the outside factors, regardless of what the haters have to say, regardless of what people from college might think of you, old friends. It's about living in line with your values and being honest and showing up as your real self. And specifically, what I'm talking about today is showing up online as your true self. So, why is this important when you're posting online? Because people connect with people, not perfection. Viral videos that you see online, they often feel real and raw and relatable, and your unique voice is your superpower. So nowadays, with so many people posting online, you have to stand out and share what makes you special in order for people to pay attention to you. Like what makes you human, what makes your brand human, what makes your business special. So I want you to really start thinking about that. And I have some prompts for you here on figuring out, what makes me special? What is authentic about me that I can really start posting about that I'm kind of holding back at the moment? And I promise that those are the things that are going to make your content perform a lot better and make people connect with you and ultimately trust you to do the things you want them to do, to try your product or, share your message. So some examples of this, a founder crying happy tears when launching their product. Even if they're ugly tears, like post them because people will relate to that and feel so deeply about that. And other, like, instead of just posting a photo of the product, like imagine you posted a video of your launch day and you're crying, like people are gonna love that. A mom showing what her day really looks like, the real side of it. A creator sharing like a vulnerable turning point, things like that. So I want you to kind of think about your authenticity meter here. Where are you falling when it comes to life in general and specifically your content? So kind of think about that for a second. Maybe write the number down on a piece of paper. If you're sitting at 0, well, you have so much potential. You have so many things that you can share. So start thinking about what these things are. And if you are being 100% authentic, then good for you. You're going to hear some more tips on how to share your stories better. So another word that I like to use, which is kind of like the authenticity thing, is what I like to call the shine factor. What is your shine factor? What makes your brand special? Reflect on your strengths, your values, your personality. And this doesn't have to, like, this can be super weird and very minute and offside. Like, um, get creative with it. Like, think deep with it. Like, I, uh, I'm thinking of if I were, let's say I'm a restaurant and I'm trying to think of something that is my shine factor. And let's say there's an area of my restaurant at the very back of the room and it has a bunch of these cool photos of the history of the restaurant and I don't know, people write on the wall or something like that. Like that's a shine factor. That's something really cool. So start thinking about what makes you special and then you're going to want to weave these things through everything that you create. Okay? So, here's a mini prompt. Um, that I would love for you to take just a little bit of time. Uh, let's think about what makes you you. If you can just write down even one thing, think about what is your shine factor. Now, if you even want to put it in the chat, maybe for some of us to see what each other's shine factors are for our business or ourselves. I'm trying to think of what mine would be. Um, as a video editor, I think one of my shine factors maybe would be that I was bullied pretty heavily in high school for making videos on YouTube. I had, the popular kids coming up to me asking for my autograph. I had videos played on projectors. So it's like I made it through that. So I feel like that's kind of a cool story and a shine factor. And it's probably something I should share more about online. Yeah. Okay. I'll move on to the next one. I also do have a worksheet that really dives deep into figuring out what your shine factor is, and I have sent it to Carrie so she, I think, can attach it into the Zoom call. So you can download it now in the chat or you can email me after and I can get you that worksheet for you. I would recommend maybe taking that, putting your phone away, taking some time to really reflect and write through that worksheet, but that's there for you to help you out. Now, next up, as Carrie was explaining, video can be really, really scary because we're putting ourselves out there and we're being vulnerable and our faces are online and we're sharing our opinions and we're sharing our thoughts and we're essentially putting ourselves out there to be judged by the world. So I want to talk about a bit about overcoming fear and resistance when it comes to posting online because in my experience working with everybody, I rarely will find somebody who's not nervous to post something. Even the people who seem like they're the most out there and the most vulnerable, like the creators I know, like they really, really struggle with this. So if you do too, like don't feel bad about it. Um, and just here are some reminders. Showing up online as your real self can feel uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because it matters. That discomfort is a part of being seen, but being seen is where connection starts. So I want you to remember that when it's hard and you don't want to be seen, you just have to remember, but them seeing me is the thing that's going to make them connect to me and it's going to make my business flourish. It's inevitable. People will find you. So here are some common roadblocks I hear a lot when it comes to creating content and my little arguments beside it. So I don't know what to post. Okay, well, use ChatGPT and think of some prompts, or scroll on your feed and find all the popular ideas that are trending on your feed and recreate them on your own. Take some time to brainstorm with pen and paper. You have a beautiful mind. I'm sure you could think of some things. I'm not good on camera. Well, I would still like you to practice being on camera because you're never going to get anywhere if you don't start. But if you're really, really too scared to put your face on there, you don't need to have your face to start out. You can have voiceovers, you can have text-based videos with footage in the background. Um, so there are other options than having your face talking on camera. It takes too much time. Okay, well, batch film, batch edit your content, let's say 1 day a month. This is what so many of the creators and mostly creators that I work with, they will take 1 day a week or businesses usually maybe like 1 day a month where someone will come in and like film all of their content or you can film all your content. And same with editing. Give yourself a batched amount of time instead of trying to fit in content creation in all the minutes and hours of your day because that's very stressful and you have a lot to do running your business. So compartmentalize it would be my advice if you feel like you don't have the time.
Scott, can I just like add in something there? Because I hear that a lot from women that, like, oh my gosh, I have to be like this idea, I have to be perfect on camera, therefore I have to look my best, and I can't
Yeah.
be doing that every day when I'm, and it's sort of like just it's not an excuse anymore. If you like, okay, just 1 day of the month, maybe I'm gonna like show up as, my best, whatever, physical self, whatever that means to people, and then they batch it on that day and then they drip that content out rather than feeling they have to keep showing up every day,
Yes.
oh, it's humid today, my hair is awful. But if you kind of plan that and batch it, it's actually a superpower, and I see a lot of our clients using it, so I thought I'd just slide that in there.
Absolutely. Some people go and get their hair blown out and they go to the salon and they put on their best outfit and they just film a ton of stuff that lasts them months in just a day. So that's a really, really good idea. But if you are someone who can start, working it into your daily life and you're filming things and you're popping your phone out and saying your advice on the fly, that comes with confidence and that comes with not being scared to look bad sometimes. And that will make you more successful probably than the person who is just filming on the 1 day. Both work, but you want to work towards not overthinking things so much and not being so scared. So it's not good enough. I always say, remember, done is better than perfect. A lot of times videos go viral and are successful, and they are the most imperfect ones that you never thought would pop off, and they do. But you can never find those little golden nuggets unless you're posting consistently. Um, I'm not getting any likes. I'll say no post is a failure. Either you learned something, or how many times do you guys see a post and you don't like it? You don't comment on it. I rarely leave comments, so there's probably hundreds of eyes of real human beings taking in what you have to say, but they're just not interacting. So don't remember that, like zero doesn't really mean zero. People are watching you. I'm scared of what people will think. I just like the Mel Robbins book. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's just let them think what they're going to think. You know who you are, you know what your business is, and just let them. Don't give them the power to keep you from creating. No way. No way are you going to do that. So, what happens when you start to remove all of these blocks? Your content flows easier because, like I said earlier, you can whip your phone out and you're not thinking so much, you're doing less thinking, more doing, more creating, more posting. The right people come and find you because you're being yourself and you're showing up consistently. So your tribe is going to find their way to you. You're gaining more trust and engagement from people because you're connecting with them. You're being seen, you're being entertaining, you're being relatable, you're creating things that not everybody is creating. And that trust is the most valuable thing when it comes to running a business. It's also more fun to create. You're going to start enjoying creating more, and opportunities that come up will start being more aligned. If you're someone who maybe wants some brand deals, you're going to get brand deals that fit you so perfectly if you're being yourself. And also, the growth feels real. It doesn't feel like you're an imposter. It doesn't feel like I don't deserve this, or you don't have a pit in your stomach because you're not being real. So it feels good to create content in an authentic way without all these blocks and caring about what everybody thinks. So, another mini prompt I have here is for starting to clear away your blocks. So, let's try and write down, if you're feeling brave, you can add it in the chat too to inspire others. But what is a fear that you need to let go of when it comes to showing up more fully online? What's a fear? Is there a certain person in your life that if they saw your content, you'd be scared what they'd think about you, and maybe it would change their opinion and maybe they would treat you differently? Um, are you scared of having
Neat.
a post have 0 views? How others perceive me? Yeah, I mean that's like the biggest problem is people worrying about what others think. So it's a constant journey of learning not to care, but that always has to be in the forefront of your mind when you post, is like really trying to let go of other people's opinions. It's the number one thing that holds people back from creating, in my opinion. It's the thing I've heard the most out of all my years is worrying about other people's opinion. Time. Yep. Time is difficult. Again, batching content, imposter syndrome. Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. I also have a worksheet for this. I call it my big block worksheet. Carrie also has this, and I think can pop it into the Zoom chat as well. But this is another chance for you to sort of take that to the side, take some time to yourself, and do a little deep dive in trying to clear away some of these blocks so you can start creating more clearly. This is one of the questions I really like on it. It asks you to like do a little text message to your creative fear and kind of fight it. So hopefully you have fun with that and it helps you out. Now let's talk about some elements of a great video story. Elements of a great video story. Number one, the hook. They used to say grab attention within 3 seconds. In my opinion, it's milliseconds at this point. But try to grab seconds with attention in 1 to 2 seconds, or people are gonna scroll right on by you. Our attention spans are ridiculously low. Our We expect so much from content nowadays because everybody's creating amazing stuff that like if you're not doing it for me in the first few seconds, there's something else for me underneath. So you really need to capture them at the start. So always think about that at the start of your videos. Have some heart in your video. Share a feeling or a transformation. Make people feel something. Help people. Give a takeaway, an insight, or some inspiration. Provide value, essentially, to people. Always provide value with your content. And lastly, the flow of your video. Having a nice structure so it stays engaging for the viewer. Very, very important. And now I'm talking about like if you were to post this video story that tells everything about your business. It's like a trailer for your business. I want you all to make this, by the way. I want you to make your video story. Here's where I would post it. Post it as a pinned video on your Instagram feed. I get a lot of my clients to do this. It's the perfect real estate. People always click it, and it's like, it's your trailer. It's what is everything everybody needs to know about you to make them fall in love with you or to understand you. You can do it as a TikTok pin post. You could put it into your Instagram story highlights, on Twitter or X, LinkedIn feature section, on your website homepage, in your about section, your email newsletter intro, your link in bio. Like there's a lot of spots for you to put this kind of video. So I would recommend everyone to make their video story. So just to get you to start sort of thinking about what would my video story kind of say or what would it be about, I want you to have a prompt. Think about this prompt. What is one moment in your life or business that changed everything? What's kind of a transformation moment? People love like a before and after, a transformation, um, or just an aha moment or a special moment. Try and think of something like this that you could feature into your story. That would be very interesting. I'm trying to think like of an example here. I guess for me, I was talking earlier about um, how I was treated in high school for being a nerd who was making videos. Like that would be a part of maybe my video story, and I would tell little stories about what happened to me and how I got over that and how it made me who I am today. My superpower is holy boldness, still smiling. There you go. So bring that energy into your, like, I can even see by the way you type, like, you have an amazing energy. So it's like that needs to be coming out in your content. That's your shine factor coming out. That's your story coming out. So your content needs to show these things. Okay? So next up, why is this a blank page? Oh, a real example breakdown. Okay, so this I'm excited to show you guys because this is a real example of a client who I said you need to make your pinned video story and post it on your page so that everybody can learn about you and it's super easy to follow you and they'll fall in love with you and they're going to understand everything about you. There'll be no questions. They're just going to be ready to consume all the content and all the things you have to give them. So, this creator, her name is Rebecca, and I don't know why the words are glitching, but this is her Instagram account, and you'll see at the bottom here, this was her video story that we created. And she put it as her pinned video. It's been up for almost a year now. And right away, when it was posted, it did amazing. It got 1.9 million views, which was one of her most viewed videos that she'd ever created. And it got a ton of likes and shares and comments. So this was a really great investment of her time to create and to hire me to edit it. But I want to show you the video so you can see an example of a really successful video story from a woman. And after I play this video, I'm going to talk about all the reasons why I believe it did so well and a lot of the things I was thinking about when I was putting this together. So hopefully this works out and everybody can hear the video. I'm not going to play the full thing. It's over a minute long, but you'll get the gist of it.
I went from being quite literally depressed, just got broken up with. I was extremely lost and confused. I was living at home with my parents. It was the first time in my life where I actually had to go inward and take a look at what I liked about my life and what I didn't, and how I could and how much I needed to change that. I did something called a 1-year experiment. What would happen if I lived my life for this next year that everything that I did this year would completely change my life to the trajectory that I wanted? What if I acted as as if everything I did this year was about to be the best thing ever. If my success was inevitable, how would have I acted? I was starting my corporate job that was working 80 to 90-hour weeks. I was crying over my shitty boss like all the time. I knew that I had to create some sort of Delulu thoughts within myself. So I started to act as if everything I did was leading me to the best place possible and that my success was inevitable no matter what, that my happiness was inevitable no matter what, that I was going to get over this heartbreak, this breakup that I was going through no matter what. If I could take 1 year to just trying to do the things, trying to do the self-development work, trying to, go for the walks, trying to listen to the podcast, read the books, do things that was healthy for my mind, body, and soul. And it was true. Less than a year later was when I quit my job. I moved to LA, paid for my own place for the first time, really flourished in just terms of who I was. I met a whole new aligned group of friendships of girls in LA. And it was quite actually the most drastic year of my life. Like so much changed. If you're somebody watching right now who feels like in the deepest, darkest moments that you just don't know how you're going to get out of it, let me help you because I've been there and I guarantee you that you might be getting out of it quicker than you think.
Okay. That was Rebecca's video story. So you'll see a lot of the things I've kind of been talking about up till now. She had a transformation. She had, a vulnerable story about how she was down in the dumps and she was honest about all the things she went through. So here are just
I went from being
what worked with this video. At the start, there was a really engaging hook. Immediately, I was depressed with a photo of her crying her eyes out. A lot of people would be scared to post that kind of photo. But if that wasn't at the start of the video, I guarantee that video would only have, maybe 10,000 views or something like that. Because it hooked people in and it was vulnerable and relatable. She talked about her breakup. She talked about being lost and confused, things that I'm sure all of us in this call have been through, so we can really relate to it. There was also very important subtitles on the entire video. So people who had who weren't listening with sound, because 50% of people don't listen to their content with sound on, they could still hear and listen to, not hear, but they could still understand the full story. So it's really important for you to be putting subtitles on your videos, and almost all editors like CapCut, Instagram Reels editor, they all have auto subtitles. So it shouldn't be a problem for you to start putting those onto your videos. One of my biggest icks, I call them, is when I'm scrolling on a feed and I see a mouth moving, but like I don't have headphones in or anything, and I don't know what the video is saying. I just scroll on by because it's like I can't understand it. So always put subtitles on your videos if there's talking. Raw video footage. So you notice there weren't just photo proof of things that she was saying. There was a lot of different B-roll things to keep you engaged the entire time. So when it comes to creating videos, you need to always be layering that footage on top of the things that you're saying to prove what you're saying, to bring everything that you're saying to life. So when it comes to creating content for yourself and your business, it's not just about filming you. It's about filming all the little tiny things uh, throughout your business and your journey. Even if you film something now and you don't use it for 2 years and later on it becomes a part of your story, it comes in handy someday. So always be filming little bits of footage to put on top of your things. There was also a buildup and a transformation in that video. You heard that she was down in the dumps and you're like, when does this change? I'm going to keep watching. I want to find out what happens. So kind of giving people that thing to look forward to in your video is always great for a story. We've been taught that since we were young. Beginning, middle, and end. The climax, and then the lesson learned. You'll also notice the quality of her video was well done. Like she had a professional camera filming that, so that definitely helped her. She had 2 angles. She had a really good microphone, and there were sound effects. There was some like zooming in slightly with the footage to keep it a little bit more engaging. So some of those small, subtle things you might not notice do make a really big difference. And receipts. Later on in the video, you should saw that I put like screenshots of her journey on Instagram and the growth of her followers and everything changing. So always having like receipts and footage and images to back up everything that you're saying is so good for keeping your content engaging. And then also at the end, she had a strong CTA. She was basically like, if you felt how I felt, let me help you. So people know that they should follow her because she's going to give great advice. And then she later on sells her workshops, her coaching, and all that kind of good stuff.
There's just a question in the Zoom chat about, do you have suggestions about affordable website or apps for subtitles on videos? And I know Instagram comes with their own optional to add, but I think this is just for other videos, it sounds like. Any
Yeah.
suggestions?
I personally, when I edit videos, I do it within, I do it with manually within my editor, which is a little bit more complicated because I am kind of like a professional editor. I don't know the exact names of subtitle suggestions, but literally just Google affordable subtitle generators, and you'll find them. I've used them in the past. I just can't think.
I see
I'm
Pauline is suggesting CapCut, which is an app, so that might
Yeah,
be something.
like yeah, CapCut is free. It has great subtitles, but there are some cool ones that like highlight the word.
Mhm.
They should rank on like top of Google or ChatGPT if you want to ask them, but that's a good question. I should get the names of those so I can suggest them. So I also want you to know that I know she had a lot of followers and she invested a lot into that setup and got someone to professionally record her. But a video story doesn't only work if you have hundreds of thousands of followers or a really great setup. And I know this because I've done it myself. I posted my own video story just using my iPhone, and this was years ago, and it was very vulnerable. I was struggling with um, like losing weight and just being motivated and all these kinds of things, like 2021, so 4 years ago. And had me eating ice cream. Like it was not cute. It was very vulnerable and honestly kind of embarrassing. But from this video alone, I got 1 million views, 220,000 likes, and 90,000 followers in a week. And like the most amazing comments. Um, if you want to go watch the video, I didn't put it in the slideshow, but you can follow me on TikTok. My account is Video by Sky. I only have a couple few videos up there, but that's one of them. So you can kind of see what can be created with just an iPhone. And just know that it is possible for you
And
as well.
we have a question from Helen. Are the video tips you're giving, are they equally applicable to LinkedIn?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you can post your video story to LinkedIn. Everywhere, every single social platform is going to need you to have subtitles. It's going to need you to be relatable and to be yourself. So I definitely think that all of these can apply to any platform.
I think
Now,
the
LinkedIn
one
is obviously more B2B than other platforms, so maybe you want your content to be a little bit more professional. That's kind of like on you and how you want your content to feel, but yes, these will all work for LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. So, this is another prompt. I want you to start thinking about your cringe. List 5 moments or behind the scenes bits of your life or your business that might feel maybe a little embarrassing to show or something you've never shown in the past, but could actually make people laugh, feel something, or get to know your business on a deeper level.
Can I
So,
share one of mine with you, this guy? Because when I read that, I immediately thought, because I recently did,
yes.
um, which is that when I was in my early 20s, I was voted most likely to leave the party early because I'm an introvert. And
Mm,
actually, I use that now in my business today because I actually organize networking events for women, which is hilarious because I was voted most likely to leave the party early. So it's like this, it's kind of embarrassing to be voted that, like it's like kind of
yeah.
lame. And yet I'm like, but that's okay. That's why I create events that I would want to go to.
Yes. Okay, so like I love that. Let's say I'm not sure you would need to be posting social media videos, or if you do, or you have to promote yourself at all. But like that would be such a good little video.
Yeah, this is for my business outside of Queens, but yeah, it's
There you
absolutely
go.
it's I've done it and it's people can relate to that.
Yeah, and even like I could imagine if you had a photo of you from that time, like what you looked like in the yearbook, and had that photo pop up and kind of zoom in, and then maybe some text went on top that was like voted most likely to leave the room. And then maybe you had some B-roll of like people laughing at you, I don't know, and then being like the punchline, well, now I plan events that I want to go to. Like that would just be amazing. So that's a great example of how something like that that maybe is a bit embarrassing or a story can be turned into a really good piece of content that helps people get to know you and trust you more. Would love to see that picture. Yeah, that'd be funny. You should do that. Okay, so next up, let's talk a little bit more about building your brand story. So I would like to think of this brand story video or your pin video almost like your handshake. I want you to invite people into your world. So it should introduce your face, or if you don't want your face in your business, like your brand face, like your branding, maybe it's your storefront, it's your products, like the face of whatever it is that you are sharing about. What you do or what the product does or what the service does, who you serve, like sort of talk to those people, and why it matters and how you can help. So those are all really good things to include in your brand story and work in your little shine factors and your storytelling throughout. So for building your story framework, another little prompt here. I'm getting you guys to work over there. I'm sorry. But in one sentence, could you answer some of these things? Who are you? What do you do? Why does it matter? And how can you help someone? You can maybe do this a little bit later as well, but it's a bonus if you can write your hook at the start.
And by the way, Sky, this is to me like when I work with clients, this is like your bio link on Instagram. Like you should
Yep.
be able to fit it in your bio link. And if it's not there already, people, it's confusing as to what you do. So this little thing is so crucial to every business to answer and put it everywhere.
Yeah, like simplify it and then take those things and bring it to life through video and like, make each of those things grow through your video. Basically your pitch. Yeah, it's essentially your pitch. You're going up to someone, shaking their hand, and telling them why you should be friends, why you should trust me, what I do, how I can help you.
Sky, can you just restate what B-roll is? Someone was asking the
Yes,
question.
that is, I always have to explain what B-roll is. It's like so second nature to me, but B-roll is essentially like backup footage, like B-roll. It's that kind of footage if I'm talking and then I layer it on top and it plays to prove what I'm saying. So like I'm going for a walk today, and it's just my face. The B-roll would be footage of me filming my feet walking or footage of the sunshine. That's B-roll. If you own a soap company and you're packaging things and you tell people we have really fast shipping times, and then you put a bunch of clips of how efficient your packing is and time lapses, which is like sped up footage of you packing a ton of boxes, like those are all B-roll, and it makes it really fun to watch. Think about when you're scrolling on your phone, you'll notice the videos that you're watching, they're going to have lots of B-roll and lots of things that are keeping you entertained.
Sorry, Sky, one more question because it's so juicy and good. People have lots of
Yeah.
questions. Tina is saying, I don't have any photos of me from back in the day. Is there another way that you can, share a vulnerable moment, something might have happened in the past without an old photograph of yourself? Any ideas of that? Obviously, we don't have B-roll from then either.
100%. I absolutely have ideas because there's so many times where a video is saying something and I'm like, "Ugh, I gotta bring this to life, but I don't have anything to work with." So I will go to like a free stock footage site, such as like I should write this in the chat. Unsplash is a place that has copyright free photos. I think it's unsplash.com. But like there, I could get a person walking in the sunshine and they have videos and stuff. So you could throw that in there. It's not your video, but that's fine. You could do a drawing on a piece of paper and take a picture of it and film it and throw it in your video. You could film something that could make it relevant. You could look up some stuff online,
I
like,
think Canva also had, like, they have
oh,
videos you can
sure,
use as
yeah,
well.
Canva,
A lot of people don't know if you have the paid version of Canva. There's tons of video in there. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And obviously not video of us, but video of B-roll, basically.
yeah, stock video, B-roll, photos, like just something, something to bring this to life and to prove what you're saying is true and to make it entertaining. Pexels is good too, yep. Pexels.com. Those are the two I use, Unsplash and Pexels. They're free. Pixabay, is that free or paid? But yeah, stock photos, film it yourself, make it with your own hands, make it in Canva. Um, there is a way for you to bring it to life. You just have to find it. Next up, we got some video creation habits that work. So we've already talked about this, batching, filming or editing multiple videos at once. I recommend everyone to batch if you have a hard time creating consistently. Said this already, but I just want to emphasize it. Uh, Finding videos on your feed to recreate and make it your own. I'm going to show an example in a little bit, but scrolling through your feed and finding videos is great because, first of all, it's geared towards you. So it's probably stuff that you like and you'll feel passionate about creating, but it's also proven to be successful. So find a video you like, kind of put on, like I like to say, usually we scroll on our feed for fun, but I want you to like put on your inspector goggles next time you're going on your feed to really like analyze what are these videos? Like, could I transform this into something for my business?
Mhm.
And you'll notice like every single video is like, wait, I could spin this, I could spin this, save them, write them down, and don't forget to create them and bring them to life and come up with a plan on how to create it.
And can I just slide in there? Sorry, you're so
Yep.
good. Just like it's prompting things, but I know the weekend community by and large, I mean, wouldn't relate to the video you showed early, which is, a young woman in a bikini on a beach in LA,
Yeah.
right? So that's not going to maybe inspire us, but another woman owned business in Kingston, and there are so many that do an incredible job of just like they're middle-aged women. They're not perfect. They have fantastic relevant, like I'm just going to suggest when I hear inspiration, don't go to some influencer in LA for inspiration. It's just, yeah, Muriel's bikinis and the cleaners, and so is mine. It's like, let's look at like women we can relate to. And again, if you're 20 somethings, great. Look at those people that relate to you, but don't
Mhm.
get turned off by, oh my gosh, I'm never going to look like her, be like her. I don't even live in that country. Like, pick people that are relevant to your business maybe. And yeah, I just want to slide that in there because sometimes when we hear inspiration, that becomes the imposter syndrome. I can't look like that, and then we actually shut down. So look at the right people for inspiration. I'm just going to slide that in there. As a 52-year-old woman, I think that's entirely relevant to my business, and so I thought it might be relevant to someone else's.
Yes, and it's also like, again, you're putting on the inspector goggles, not your comparison goggles. And like that story I showed you from Rebecca, sure, she might not be like you, but you have to realize, wait, she had some cool photos pop up at the front. And oh, this song that she had in the background was like a piano song, and that kind of worked for her. And she like kind of like take yourself out of the equation and just think about the technical parts of the video that worked. Because even if you don't relate to them, what they're doing is working and you can make it your own. So it's like they don't have to be exactly like you. But yeah, of course, finding people in your niche and people who are already creating who look like you, like that always will work because what they're doing is working and you can copy them. But the For You page is just really good because it's content that is going viral and it's successful. So you can emulate that and kind of steal a little bit of the success while making it your own. And you can always give people props in your caption if you want to shout out where you got your inspiration from. Next up, again, don't overthink what you're posting. It's another reminder, done is better than perfect. Try your best not to overthink things too much. And again, film everything that you can, film that B-roll. It's gonna come in handy for you at some point. So like, I know I've repeated myself a few times, but like these 4 things are really, really helpful. Like if you're doing these things, you should be able to be creating a lot easier. This is an example of sort of that For You page copycat kind of thing I'm talking about. I went to go get a screenshot for the presentation, and this immediately was one of the first things that popped up. So it was this company, they're a running fitness company, and they put a camera up on a tripod facing their customers, and it was like, show us how excited you are to go on your run today. And it had everybody posing and smiling, and it was a great video. It was good vibes. It did well. And I was like, there are so many people who could just copy this format. So let's say you own a coffee shop and you put it in front of a certain chair, and it's like, show us how excited you are for your latte. Or, and then you just like, or someone's coming to pick up a package and you get them to smile on camera. Like you can recreate this viral video, and I guarantee that it will do well for you because it's packed with proven content that you can put your own spin on it. You know it's going to work because it worked for somebody else. So I would really encourage you to try out this little copycat thing maybe one time and see how it goes for you. Put on your inspector goggles and say, how can I make this work for me? So these are like my 3 C's that I say are the top qualities for content success. Consistency, posting, 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 even when it's not perfect. Creativity, like I said, I don't have that photo of myself from when I was in a yearbook. Well, get creative. How can you bring this to life in another way to add it on top of your video to make it engaging? Like always going that extra mile that you can with your creativity to take your video to the next level, whether it's spending an extra 10 minutes or an extra half hour on your edit, it's going to go a long way. And also confidence, working on your confidence, working on not caring what other people think, and just being able to post more freely. Getting started, I want you to do this before you hit record. Oh, we already went through this, defining our shine factor. Sorry, we already went through that, but this is another thing I want to sort of remind you. If you're feeling bad about yourself because you're getting like 100 views or 1,000 views, look how many 100 people are on the left. Like that's a lot of humans who care and that you're talking to. So I know it can be tough when we see people getting crazy views online, to remember that like 100 views is a big room full of people. 1,000 views is like an auditorium. Like there are real people behind these numbers, and you are making an impact even when it doesn't seem like you are. Like there are just so many people I follow who have no idea how much I care about them, and I'm sure you guys can say the same about so many accounts you follow, so many videos you see. um, so remember that when it comes to people watching you, people do care about you. They care about your business. And even if it doesn't seem like it, a video that you're creating it's doing something for you. It's working in the background.
Here's a fun question, Sky, because Ashley has asked the question, but I think there's a lot of people who maybe are thinking the same thing. Like, what I do is boring. Like, how am I, like, I work on the computer all day. I do video calls all day. Like, how can I make that more interesting? Like, do you have any, and Ashley happens to be a writer, ideas on how she can include behind the scenes, everyday interesting content?
Mm-hmm. So I think that goes a little bit more into like diving into your what makes you special. Like, come on, you're not just a girl who sits behind a computer. There's gotta be more to you, girl. you got to figure out what it is and bring that stuff to your content. Like, unfortunately, I don't know who you are, but there's got to be some special stuff. Do you have like a cute cat that runs around your house? Like, I don't know what it is, but you're special in your own way, and you have to bring that out into your content. Um, and also like maybe playing with your video styles, like if you are mainly just sitting behind a computer, what's something fun you could do? Maybe it's doing a transition where you spin in your chair and you show a before and after of an edit to show that you work from like long hours and you lock in hard, and it's some sort of like transformation from evening to night of you doing a really cool edit. Or maybe it's a video of an edit that you have and you green screen it behind you and you're like reacting to something that happened, or you're like giving advice and there's subtitles. Um,
Someone suggested a coffee mug, like if that's what keeps you going, like you making coffee, hey, getting ready for a busy day, writing. Green screen app, can you explain that, Sky?
yeah, green screen, again, these are things that are in our mobile editors like CapCut and Instagram Reels editor. But it's something I need to do like a video editing workshop so I can like live show you. But it's a setting. You just like click a green screen and then it gets you to click a photo or a video and it can show up behind you. So you're on top of your footage, which is a really great thing to do.
Someone suggested their dog, like office pets, huge, get tons. I just put one out of my dog yesterday. I
Yeah.
mean, one of my highest, well, not one. It was just like it got way more likes and comments than, and
Yeah.
and yet it was entirely relevant to my business.
But
So
I will like to say, like, yes, you can post a video or photo of your cat, but I also want you to try and go that level deeper where you're a bit more vulnerable. Like maybe you have a dog because it helps you with your anxiety or it helps you with your focus, or, it's like really going beyond the surface level stuff of I have a cute dog. Or I don't know, maybe it was like your grandpa's dog and he passed away. I don't know. Doesn't, yeah.
the emotional connection.
The
Yeah, the
emotional
emotional. Yeah.
connection. Yes, you want people to feel something when they watch you. Looking for an affordable video editor or app. I can go through those. Well, we're about to go into our Q&A, so I can answer a ton of questions. But basically, I want you to know that your video journey starts now. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and share your video story. I want everybody to make their pinned video. If you had one video on your profile, what would it be? I want you to create that because it's going to go a long way for your business. If there's any video I want you to invest in, if you're going to make it yourself or if you're going to hire someone to help you out with it, um, that's what I would really recommend you guys doing first is that video. So, Q&A session?
All right, so we've been having some robust questions as we've been going. If I have missed your question, please insert it again into the Zoom chat. We are now focused there. Of course, we were distracted by the fantastic slides that Sky was sharing. And I just want to hear that. I appreciate you started this whole presentation with let's address the fear and the mindset that's stopping us, because otherwise all of this advice and tips mean
Yeah,
nothing if we do
exactly.
not push ourselves, not to not be ourselves, but to actually be okay with who we are. And that is a deeper rooted issue than I hate video. It's not about
Yeah.
the video, it's the feeling that you have when you do video. So okay, good question. Muriel is saying, so you're asking what does a video editor go for? I think you mean like what's an hourly rate? What could somebody expect to pay for? Let's say a 1 minute intro video, Sky, like let's put some numbers on that. Like if they're investing in
Yeah.
a professional person, what would that be?
Yeah, so like maybe a junior editor might be, 50, 75 bucks an hour. Me personally, I'm in the 125 is my range an
How
hour.
many hours would it take for you to create
Eh,
a video?
That video that I showed of her video story, that was probably maybe a
Okay.
$500 video.
Yeah. So we're looking at $500 for a professional video, which
Like,
is
yeah.
market rate for sure.
Yep. For a big
Liz,
one like that, not like little short form reels and stuff. For like that nice, video to sit on your profile, that's gonna
yeah,
probably be where you're looking at for
an
that.
investment. It's a part of your marketing, and you can charge that, or sorry, claim that as a business expense, don't forget.
Yes, that is.
Lynn is asking, what are your thoughts about using Loom to create video screen shares to post online?
I think it's great. Like it's